When will the 17-time Grand Slam champion decide to call it a day? Rafael Nadal, photo by Christine Caillot, copyright at Sport Vision. There is a chance that 11-time French Open champion Rafael Nadal could retire from tennis within the next 3 years, according to his former coach and uncle. Tony Nadal spoke about the former world number one during an interview with El País about the health of the Spaniard. Nadal has been blighted by numerous physical problems in recent months. During 2018 he was hampered by issues with both his knee and abdomen. The 32-year-old also underwent a small operation on his ankle in November. Nadal's latest issue is his right knee, which forced him to withdraw from his semi-final clash with Roger Federer at Indian Wells. A problem that also forced him to skip the Miami Masters for a second year in a row. Commenting on his nephew's work with Carlos Moya, Tony has insisted that Nadal wants to continue playing, despite his physical problems, although that may not be for too many more seasons. I see it well. The most important thing is that they, Nadal and Moya, appreciate and respect each other, something very necessary. Tony told El País. And Rafael wants to continue playing, despite his physical problems. This is what will continue to be decisive. Until when, who knows? Maybe 2 or 3 more years. What I'm saying is that Rafael is not a tennis player, he's an injured person who plays tennis, and that's very difficult. Nadal is currently the 14th oldest player in the top 100 on the ATP Tour. He is 5 years younger than rival Federer and 8 years younger than world number 77 Ivo Karlovic. The world number 2 hasn't given any indication about quitting the sport. However, the Spaniard had previously stated that he has no fears about retiring from the sport in the future. "I'm not scared of my ending," he told ABC.es in February. "I'm aware that it will be an important change in my life, but if I'm honest, I'm very happy outside of tennis, with tennis too, but I have fun doing other things. We are closer to goodbye, no doubt, but it does not scare me, I'm still very motivated. I like what I do and I work with the maximum enthusiasm to give me options to compete for everything. Anyway, I'm preparing my future." Nadal is currently back in Spain training ahead of the start of the clay swing. A critical part of the season for him, where he will be aiming to defend 4 out of the 5 titles he won last year, including 2 Masters 1000 tournaments and the French Open. He will begin his campaign at the Monte Carlo Masters, which will get underway on April 15th. Raising hands, light skin tone at Rafael Nadal clay equals ______. Rocket. Guitar. Fire. How would you describe it with one emoji? pic.twitter.com/9dhtotr7d. Rafa Nadal Academy by movie star @rnadal Academy. March 30, 2019. The former world number 1 is back on the court, but it is still unknown if or when he will return to the ATP Tour. Andy Murray at the 2019 Australian Open. Photo Roberto Del Olivo. Andy Murray appears to be stepping up his recovery from surgery after uploading a video of himself hitting a tennis ball. The 3-time Grand Slam champion hasn't played a competitive match since his first-round loss to Roberto Bautista Agut at the Australian Open. It was during that tournament, where Murray revealed that he might be forced to retire from the sport due to his hip, which was originally operated on in January 2018. However, the Brit has since undergone hip resurfacing surgery in a last-ditch attempt to continue his career. In a video uploaded to his Instagram account, the former world number 1 is seen hitting forehands and backhands against the wall. Along with the video is the caption, "It's a start, Andy." Movie camera at Andy_Murray on Instagram. pic.twitter.com/4capsuledalbs. The Tennis Podcast at Tennis Podcast. April 1, 2019. Murray has refused to give a time limit on how long the recovery process may take and if or when he will return to the court. Fellow player Bob Bryan has previously undergone the same operation and returned to the tour after 6 months. However, the chances of Murray being ready in time for Wimbledon remains 50-50. Commenting on his recovery, Murray's mother Judy has said he is in a good place, mentally. During an interview with Sky Sports last month, the former British Fed Cup captain admitted that Murray's future on the tour remains unclear. He is doing pretty well. It is not that long since he had the operation and time will tell. Judy told Sky Sports News. Nobody knows how he is going to recover in the longer term. He is in a good place mentally and we just keep our fingers crossed. But I tell you, if anybody can do it he can, because he will put his heart and soul into it like he does with everything. So fingers crossed. During his career, Murray has claimed 45 ATP titles and became the first player in history to defend an Olympic title. He has also spent 41 consecutive weeks as world number 1. Is the men's tour a fair playground for all players? Stefanos Tsitsipas. Photo by Chrysaline Caio. Copyright at Sport Vision. Newly crowned Miami Open champion Roger Federer believes that he and his rivals on the tour do not get preferential treatment from umpires despite a claim by a fellow top 10 player. Australian Open semi-finalist Stefanos Tsitsipas has triggered a debate in the sport following comments he made during the Miami Open. The Greek was playing in a doubles match alongside Wesley Koolhof against the renowned Bryan brothers. During an argument with the umpire, Gianluca Mascarella, Tsitsipas suggested that the American duo were being given many privileges, something he then linked to Federer and others. Tsitsipas asked Mascarella, "Why are you giving them so many privileges?" Mascarella responded, "It's not a privilege, they have the right to do it, it's all I can do. The feeling that I have is that you're giving them privilege like you do with Roger and everybody else." Tsitsipas added. Here's a video of the moment. Tsitsipas complaining that the Bryans get privileges just like Federer. Interesting. Video camera at Tennis TV, at MiamiOpenPic.Twitter.com/4xDJCOSM8L, Joe, at Prada Girip3, the 30th of March 2019. During a question and answer session on Twitter, the 20-year-old stood by his claim on Sunday. When asked to elaborate on his previous statement, Tsitsipas said that double standards does occur and it was unfair. The Greek didn't single out one player, but a group. Most probably the Big Four of men's tennis who have dominated the sport in recent years. I think players that have been doing really well over the years, players that are generally much respected in the tennis world, have privileges when it comes to certain rules and umpire decisions. He wrote. I felt this couple of times when playing these guys and I think it's a bit unfair. Roger Federer is always going to be my favorite player no matter what. I don't want to drag him into this. It's not his fault or intention, it's the umpires that are trying to protect them more than they are supposed to. Nothing more than that. Stefanos Tsitsipas at Steph Tsitsipas, the 31st of March 2019. Whilst some may see the valid point being made, 20-time Grand Slam champion Federer has a different interpretation. Speaking to reporters in Miami on Sunday, the 37-year-old argued that umpires find it easier to handle a top guy, dismissing any suggestion he's treated differently on the court. I think the umpires know the top guys, and they know their problems, or they know how they behave, or they know how they are going to react, so they know what acting stupid and silly means and what normal is. He said. I think because we know each other very well, it's easier for the umpire to handle a top guy that they know over an up-and-coming guy like Tsitsipas or a young guy. It sometimes gets lost in translation and maybe bad mistakes can happen. Continuing to defend his position, Federer says that he also gets penalized on the court like other players. Citing the code violation he recently received at the Dubai Tennis Championships. He was punished for a verbal obscenity. I don't see preferential treatment, to be honest. There shouldn't be. If I get warnings, and I do get warnings sometimes, it's normal. Federer stated. So they should just, based on what happened, take those decisions, and I really feel, how do you say, the umpires do that. I'm sorry that Stefanos feels that way. Both Tsitsipas and Federer will return to action on the European clay in the coming weeks. The Swiss maestro wins his 101st title as his wounded rival exits Miami with an injury cloud looming over his head. 37-year-old Roger Federer continues to add to his trophy collection after producing an emphatic display to defeat an injury-stricken John Isner 6-1, 6-4, in the final of the Miami Open. Federer, who made his Miami debut back in 1999, overwhelmed a frustrated Isner throughout their latest clash on the tour, forcing Isner to move out of his comfort zone by the baseline and towards the net. A nightmare scenario for the American, who was hampered by a foot injury. Nevertheless, it was Federer's dominant performance that highlighted the match as he hit 17 winners to 7 unforced errors. Even more impressive was his ability to win 32 out of the 35 points behind his serve. To stand here, with the trophy, after so many years is absolutely incredible, Federer said during the trophy ceremony. John is a great player, a great person. I'm so sorry for your foot, but I'm positive for you, it's all good and you'll be playing great tennis for the rest of the year. He added. Heading to the premier court at the Hard Rock Stadium to play a record 50th Masters final, Federer was expected to be in for a tough battle. Heading into the clash, 6 feet 10 inches, Isner had only lost 4 out of his 60 service games throughout the tournament. However, Federer dictated the match from the onset with the use of his shot selection to place the nerve-stricken American into uncomfortable positions around the court. After just 25 minutes of play, the former world number 1 broke Isner's lackluster serve 3 times en route to clinching the opening set with relative ease. It was just a dream start for any player. It relaxes your nerves, Federer commented about breaking Isner in the first game. Maybe I broke too many times in the first set. I felt like I've made too many jokers already. In bed from Getty Images. During one stage, Federer won 21 consecutive points behind his serve before Isner ended the run at 2-2 in a more competitive second set. Finally, the Swiss player was being placed under some pressure by his fast-serving opponent, but it had little impact on the outcome of the match. Besides dealing with a fierce performance from his rival, Isner was also hampered by his own physical issues, taking a medical timeout at 1-6, 3-4, due to his left foot, which had strapping on throughout. After certain points, Isner was seen showing glimmers of pain following exchanges between the two, something that became even more visible following his timeout. A game away from winning the title, Federer's opponent was barely able to chase after the ball, shouting to his team in the crowd, "I can't move," an anticlimactic end to the 2019 tournament. Admirably, Isner kept battling to the delight of his home crowd, but the lack of movement allowed Federer to break once again and clinch the win, doing so with the help of a Hawkeye challenge which ruled Isner's backhand shot out on match point, an outcome that prompted jubilation for Federer and commiseration for Isner, who was consoled afterwards by tournament director James Blake. "Roger, congrats. You were entirely too good today. You were entirely too good this whole tournament. You were entirely too good your whole career. We're so lucky to have you. Never retire," Isner said in tribute to the 20-time Grand Slam champion. Miami is Federer's 101st title on the ATP Tour and his 28th at Masters 1000 level. Only Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic have won more Masters trophies than him. Federer has also become the first player in 2019 to win a second ATP title after the first 19 events of the season were won by different players. "Thank you for so many years that you still come out and support. I was lucky enough to play every match on center court and you guys were perfect. I had a blast. Federer exits Miami with 1,000 ranking points and prize money of $1,354,010. He will rise to 4th place in the ATP rankings when they are updated on Monday. Embed from Getty Images.